News on 6 starts now.
First here at 4, the sentencing phase of the murder trial for David Ware is underway at this hour after a jury found him guilty of killing Sergeant Craig Johnson and injuring Officer Arash Zarkashan 2 years ago. It's good to see you this afternoon. I'm Brian Dorman. His new charge comes after remains were found in a shallow grave last week, have been identified now as a woman missing since January. Vice President Kamala Harris has tested positive for COVID-19. The White House says that she is not showing any symptoms. Officials also confirm President Joe Biden has not recently been in close contact with Harris. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol releases new video of troopers helping pull a car from a building in Sperry after the driver crashed into it, causing the car and building to go up in flames. In 2020, there were 226 reports of children running away from the Tulsa boys' home.
You know, sometimes you have to ask the tough questions, and I think you did. And I think you helped precipitate some movement in this problem that we've been having.
First at 9, still a chance for a thunderstorm across the Osage Casino Skycam network. We thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Brian Dorman. Broken Arrow police arrest a man who they say was caught on camera killing his neighbor's chihuahua. President Joe Biden is asking Congress for billions more in military, humanitarian, and economic assistance to Ukraine. Now, that proposal tops $900 million. News on 6's Mackenzie Gladney joins us now live from City Hall with what is in the budget. Today, the U.S. and Russia pulled off a prisoner swap despite tensions between the countries over the war in Ukraine. A former U.S. Marine, Trevor Reed, convicted of assault in Moscow in 2019. Live in Tulsa County, you can now create a health profile to help dispatchers during an emergency. You and your family could soon take a trip to the past by visiting the Tulsa Zoo. You can be a millionaire too. Powerball for Wednesday is up to like $400 and almost $50 million.
Take that, Dolly.
Yeah. All right, listen, you can buy a Tesla with it. And for a few years now, those that have one have been able to skip the walk to the car. You may know this already. Instead, they have the car come to them. You're nodding yes.
I've seen it.
Great to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, Brian.
We have 3 great viewer questions this week. We'll start with Kate. Kate says, with inflation up this year, it's been difficult for my family to save money. We always take a summer trip. 60 acres, a lot of land just north of the city. Megan Farley, now business development manager with Dewberry Architects, is here with Dr. Lana Turner Addison. Welcome back, Doctor. And tell us more about how these meetings went. Megan, we'll start with you about what kind of turnout y'all experienced. The community really involved in this project. What did you hear from them? What do they really want with this plot of land? You know how we love renderings. We don't have
Look at him.
I came up with a picture of what maybe perhaps the
amphitheater.
You want me over here? The
artistic.
Amphitheater might look like one day.
There it is.
A couple trees and some seating area around the amphitheater. You know what? We love a good rendering.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it is time for the 4 o'clock call-up, and we love it. The big news of the day, Tiger Woods in Tulsa, seen at Southern Hills Country Club. We were stalking him from above.
Yeah.
Sky News 6.
Good. Yeah.
I knew we had the call-up today, so I wore this tie. This is a Digger Phelps tie.
Oh, wow.
An actual Digger tie that he gave me. It actually came with a matching highlighter. As it
fantastic.
Digger Phelps, of course, winningest basketball coach at the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah.
What can we do to have a successful long-distance relationship? It's one of those things where it's like when you're not in a relationship, you want to be in a relationship, and when you're in one, you know, sometimes you don't want to be. So, I mean, the grass sometimes can be greener.
Wow.
What advice do you have for Isabel? Her flame is coming home. A lot of people talking about Elon Musk buying Twitter. I just have to mention it. $44 billion. That happening before news time. That's not my pick today, but everybody's talking about it. It is going down in the kitchen today. A 39-year-old taking on a 7-year-old.
He's a good boy.
You had me at mimosa. I wish we had started there, Daisy.
I know. Sorry, I failed this time.
That tastes great.
Oh, that's delicious.
Sorry, sorry, Harris. None of this for you, my friend.
Nope.
Nope. I know. Darn it all. Are you making another heart? You got another? Oh, you're doing a whole nother round here.
The whole game.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Good.
Listen, how much fun is this? Daisy, thank you so much. Harris, your TV debut, you rocked it. You did better than me, which was expected.
He doesn't have the 3-year-old
look
head yet.
Listen.
No, he's not a 3-year-old. But
we know.
He may wear 3-year-old clothing, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He might be in a 3T.
Okay, there's more.
We had good guesses.
He was, no, I don't think he did.
The question was confusing.
Well, I didn't write it.
It wasn't a good question.
Just look at him. How old do you think he is? You said 6 months. You said 8 months.
He was 11, right?
People think he's 3 years old when they run into him, and he's only 11 months old.
He doesn't look 3, though.
No. No.
What do you think he was?
He's still a baby. He looks like a baby.
Somewhere between 5 and 7. I don't know. I don't. You know me and kids. I'm not around kids. Anyway, he was born a normal weight at just over 7 pounds. but he started growing rapidly, even reaching 31 pounds. Doctors say Kaysen is a perfectly healthy baby, even though he appears to be 3 and he's only 11 months old. Mom says now that she's switched him to formula, his growth has started to slow down a bit.
Look at your face. It just looks so
You're ruining my whole story. It's time for a walk-off. I haven't done one in a long time.
Man.
It's been a minute.
It's that mimosa.
I think he
mixed with the frustration.
Yeah.
We had pancakes, we had mimosas, we had the big baby, and we just had it all, didn't we?
Big baby.
That's our time here at 4 o'clock. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Cameron was hit and killed on Highway 51. Rylan drowned in the Arkansas River.
The death of Rylan prompted a lawsuit by Rylan's family against the Tulsa Boys Home and DHS. In 2020, there were 226 reports of children running away from the Tulsa Boys Home. Last year, that number dropped all the way down to 39. Tonight, what's working and what work still needs to be done to keep Oklahoma kids safe?
You know, sometimes you have to ask the tough questions, and I think you did. And I think you helped precipitate some movement in this problem that we've been having.
Deputy Police Chief Todd Ensbrenner with the Sand Springs Police Department has been dealing with runaway boys from the Tulsa Boys Home for years. He says our News on 6 investigation prompted roundtable discussions with law enforcement, DHS, judges, attorneys, medical professionals, counselors, and the Tulsa Boys Home.
The last meeting I went to, I think there were 30 people there, and maybe 5 of them worked at the same agency. You know, you had, I mean, as a group, you know, you had multiple agencies, multiple people, and multiple perspectives on what the problem was and how to fix it.
I'm very thankful that individuals are sitting down talking about these issues and what can be changed to try and improve conditions for Oklahoma's youth.
Joe Dorman, CEO of the Oklahoma Institute of Child Advocacy, was featured in our original series. Although he doesn't have a seat at the table of these roundtable discussions, he's hopeful they're working to produce real results that could potentially save lives.
There has to be a game plan, and I'm confident that DHS will look at this and that changes will be made. We certainly need to make sure that the training is in place for judges when they determine when a young person should be sent to a facility, that they're aware of the capabilities of that facility and that someone's not sent to a place where they shouldn't be.
How many Level E facilities do we have in the state of Oklahoma?
I don't believe we have any private Level E facilities.
That's a problem for Joe and for Rylan's family that argues that type of lockdown facility, and not the Tulsa Boys Home where youth are able to essentially come and go, was required for his care, required to keep him alive. The only mental health treatment in the state for Level E youth, considered to be the most ill, is through our hospital system, where there are 13 Level E facilities. There, Joe explains, kids are capped to a certain number of days, and as long as their insurance will last. To him, the lack of resources is the most concerning.
We've got to improve the situation. I'm certainly been hopeful that there will be federal dollars through the Recovery Act or the CARES dollars that could go to alleviate some of those issues and try and help out. We've got to try and get these kids the help they need. And we can't send them to facilities that aren't built or equipped to handle young people like that.
Now for a closer look at the runaway numbers from the Tulsa Boys Home over the past 5 years. You'll notice 40 in 2017, then 93, 101, 226, to 39 just last year. J.D. Nolan says the task force roundtables is a great starting point. Scheduling conflicts while in session kept us from meeting in person, but she provided a statement saying, in part, by implementing the ideas and improving stakeholder communications through the task force, we are seeing a significant improvement in Tulsa Boys Home runaway statistics already. I look forward to hearing additional ideas, as well as any recommendations regarding future legislation related to this matter. And when it comes to new details on the death investigation into the deaths of Cameron and Rylan,
unfortunately, there have been no updates. We're still awaiting the results of the investigation to determine what exactly happened and then what will happen to try and change the system to make sure this never happens again.
I have been able to confirm over the past 7 years there have been more than 200 troubled youth from Oklahoma sent to other states like Tennessee, for care through a DHS partnership. Joe Dorman calls that a Band-Aid on the critical situation, and in his opinion, can't be a long-term solution. The Tulsa Boys Home and DHS both declined to meet with me for this update, citing ongoing litigation.
But what a difference. What a change already being made.
226 down to 39. Pretty incredible.
It is.
Yeah.